Bishop.
Welcome back to Tojaro. I'm Gary.
And I'm David. And today we're talking Monty Python.
Yes, we're talking about
the Fracati brothers threatening the British military and later being chased down by the bishop.
The bishop. You know what's fun about that episode was Terry Jones doing his American accent. Oh,
I guess that is what they were doing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a total kind of James Bond U.S. style using British actors.
And to be really honest, that is arguably, and without too much argument, my favorite Python episode. They have the insurance sketch, the architect sketch, and the third one. They have the Gumbies doing the links between the sketches too.
Yes,
it is absolutely, and the Spanish Inquisition, right?
Yeah, I don't know if the Spanish Inquisition was on that one. If it was, that is like.
Oh no, it's not the Spanish. I don't think you're right. I don't think the Spanish Inquisition's in on that one. But still, it's like that
episode.
That episode is. When Dad had him on tapes, I would watch that one over and over again.
Yeah, that was the Spanish Inquisition, clearly a classic.
Yeah. This conversation is for Gary, myself, and Pick and Duck.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you're just kind of along for the ride.
Tom's right there with us. Hey, so I saw a story earlier in the week, and David and I finally have a chance to kind of work together on it.
Yeah, I know. When's the last time we actually did a video? Has it been like 5 days, 6 days?
Either Monday or Tuesday. We did the Taco Tuesday with Marina. Did we do anything?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You shot Monday, and it's like you sent me a text message at like 6:30 or 6 o'clock saying you want to read tonight, and then like 2 hours later, I finally saw it.
Yeah, I did solo that night. I think we read after Marina.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Dave's got a reading coming up tonight that he is super duper excited about.
I was telling Gary, only maybe once or twice a year do I ever pimp a reading that I'm doing. I actually put a post up on my page for this one. Melania did her presser the other day.
Were you wearing a purple hat when you posted?
I was not. I did not wear my hat this time. I should go get it, right? Because I'm pimping.
I can entertain.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out. I've got a friend, a close friend of mine, Bill, who is driving on Route 66 from Chicago to San Francisco. So, Bill, I hope you're having a safe time. Oh, hey.
All right, got Michelle's purple pin pad out. Okay, so Melania did her 5 to 6 minute I know nothing about nothing speech. And it was funny because she's Slovenian, but was clearly doing a Natasha Fatal Russian accent during it. In our story, it's like, well, okay, so Michael Wolff's book, his lawsuit against her is coming out, and then later on, apparently, I heard there was going to be a book that was released in the UK, and there was speculation on that. No, it's even better. There's a former model named Amanda Unger, or she's a model named Amanda Unger. She has ties to Donald Trump and Melania Trump going back 20 years. Good friends with Melania Trump, and her husband, she and this guy, Zampoli, were together and had a child. And they were friends with the Trump. Zampoli is a special envoy for Trump. And Melania's been involved with this woman, Amanda, and her son for his life. Well, apparently there was a falling out between Zampoli and Unger. She left. She went to Florida, married a doctor. Zampoli allegedly called ICE, and Department of Homeland Security said this woman's who's fighting for custody over our son. She's here on an illegal visa, kick her out of the country. And Melania didn't step in to bail her friend out. So her friend gets kicked out of the country. It probably is going to not get custody of her son, and is pissed that her friend of 20 years, whose husband could tell Homeland Security to leave this woman alone, didn't do anything. So the day before Melania's presser, she went on Twitter and basically said, I'm going to tell everybody everything because what do I have to lose? You didn't stand up for me. I don't have my kid. I feel like I got nothing to lose. And this is the thing where you can't give people take away all hope, because when you take away all hope, they become extremists. They got nothing to lose. They'll burn it all down. What do they care? So Melania, the next day, and basically says, I've been around for 20 years. I know everything that's going on. Your husband, I know what you and your husband were involved in this. You tried to drag me into it, and it didn't work. And then Melania the next day says, do not believe everything that you see and hear, because it's all lies. And then she leaves. So I threw cards on it. There's like a 35-minute video. The first 10 minutes is intro. Holy smokes. It's a doozy. It's going to be a doozy.
So what we're going to read on today, so thanks, good pimping.
Yes.
What we're going to read on today was Trump's Pentagon threatened the Vatican.
Oh, shit, right. I forgot. That's right. We're reading on that, aren't we?
Yeah, that was there was a story that came out late this week. I didn't get a chance to read it. I just read it kind of at high level. But there was a Pentagon official, and Dave could probably come up with the name, some undersecretary.
Yeah. R. Darvin, I believe is his name. It's not. That's the joke for all the Star Trek original series fans. He's the special undersecretary, which gives him the authority.
Oh yes,
to borrow some Quattro Triticale.
Yeah, you know what Quattro Triticale is, and I know Donald knows what that is. It's
I'm sorry. I just locked Nico in the closet.
Poor Nico. Elbridge Colby, Undersecretary of War for Policy. Now, first of all, we all have to admit, changing the name of the Department of Defense to Department of War was probably the most appropriate thing Trump has done in his presidency, because they are no longer about defense, they are about offense.
Yeah, it's certainly well marketed. It's funny because when Trump's whining, why isn't NATO coming in and opening up the Strait of Hormuz? Because we're a defensive treaty, you dumbass.
Yeah. So back in January, the Pentagon basically delivered a lecture to Pope Leo the 14th ambassador, and basically said, America has the military power to do whatever it wants in the world. And that was
I'm sure that's exactly what it sounded like. Gary has a secret recording.
I got a recording somewhere, I think. And the Catholic Church had better take its side.
Or else.
And then
stomp your feet a couple of times, too, to make it really apparent.
And basically, as the temperature in the room rose, they invoked the Avignon papacy.
Yes.
Which I didn't know what that was. Dave,
I didn't know what that is either, but through the beauty of Google and Wikipedia,
yep.
What did you find out about the Avignon papacy, and why that's significant, and why we're making references to Monty Python and the Fricati brothers?
Yeah, so back in the 14th century, the French crown wasn't happy with the Bishop of Rome. And they used military force to bend his will to make him do what they wanted to do. Did they kill him? They tortured him, and he ultimately died.
Did you say that? I'm curious. Did you say the Bishop of Rome?
That's what it says.
Okay. I thought it was the Pope. Maybe they called him something different back then. Anyways, go on.
It was
Carry on. I do like the Bishop.
Hold it, Devious. Don't make a move.
God, I wonder what the thumbnail for this video is going to be.
It's got to be, right?
Oh, God.
So they tortured this poor guy and killed it. He ultimately died from it. And, and now the Department of War is invoking this on the Vatican now. Don't make us you remember what happened with the Avignon? In further news, Pope Leo has got no plans to come to the United States. Right. He is not going to be celebrating the 250th anniversary of this country. And he's basically ramped up his rhetoric about, enough of the idolatry and of self and money, enough of the display of power, enough of war. So he didn't call out U.S. and Israel by name, but he was basically telling U.S. and Israel to knock it off.
Yeah. Right? Uh, the threat is basically if the Vatican doesn't get in line, that they're going to do something god awful to the Pope.
Yeah.
To teach him a lesson, kind of like, connected to like the Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie situation, where, maybe because Savannah Guthrie was so outspoken on Trump that maybe her mother got targeted. And I know that I was just watching some readers making a connection between those two. It might have been the Healing Painter I was just watching, because I watched a couple of her videos yesterday make a connection.
Isn't she good? I am really enjoying watching her videos.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about having a watercolor done with her. I showed it to Shell yesterday.
Yeah. Is it gonna be you and Michelle, or you could do it with the cats?
I did threaten to do the cats. I might be Michelle and myself. It'd be nice to have a little watercolor. There's pictures that we have of the two of us that Shell really likes, and I think having a watercolor done of those would be a nice little addition to the wall art that we've got going on here.
Cool. So we're 11 minutes in and we haven't tossed a card yet.
It's like one of our lives.
For this channel, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the energy of the Department of War.
Department of War?
Yeah, because I want to know
what's it good for.
Maybe it was just a misunderstanding, and that because they basically claim that the Vatican made it up.
Hey, Gary, the Department of War, what is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the energy of the Department of War. What is it good for? Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
So the Pope basically said, "Hey, you threatened my envoy," and they said, "No, we didn't." So what's really going on here? Okay, Temperance, you're telling us to calm down and achieve balance in Iran. Don't be warlike, and we're the Department of War. Yeah, see.
Edwin Starr rule. Sorry.
Yes. The challenge is the Six of Cups. You know what? We have all the cards. You do what we tell you to do. We're bigger, and we know more. And you just take our gifts and go in your own way. Angie underneath, Six of Wands, and we're gonna win this. Don't be telling us what to do, because we're gonna win, because we're winners.
I'm just the threat right there. Don't be naive. We can poison you anytime we want.
Yeah, exactly.
What side are you on?
In the past, you got the Seven of Wands having to defend themselves against the actions. The Pope has definitely been calling them out, and the Trump's White House has been trying to defend what they've been doing, and this goes back way before Iran. This is all deporting immigrants without any due process, and a host of other lovely actions that have been going on. Current energy is the King of Pentacles. Basically, this is what Trump wants. He wants the Pope to shut the hell up and be on his side, because he wants to be the winner. Overarching energy is the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm not sure what to do with that card relative to the energy of the Department of War. I guess if nothing else, it's just the Department of War has got their own propaganda. They don't need counter propaganda coming from the Pope. We have all the information we need. We don't need your propaganda to try and derail it. Lesson to be learned is the High Priestess. There's secrets that we're keeping. There's knowledge that we have that we're not going to share. It's also, someone did point this out. This is a very Jewish card.
Yeah.
And when I was doing earlier readings, if I would have thought about that, the reading would have really come together, because it was when I was doing the reading, it was kind of how Israel is sort of getting the U.S. to fight its war for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of what this card is telling me here. I'm going with that here too. That, what, we in Israel, we know what we want to do. We've got our information. But the hell out. We're busy. We don't need you destroying our hard work.
Oh God.
The outcome, if you listen to us, we'll all be one big happy family.
Do not pick up those cards.
Okay,
Do not pick up those cards. I'd ask you to read this, but I don't think you're up to speed on it, so I might have to do it for you. But if you're up to speed, I'll let you cut loose on it.
No, go ahead.
What do you know of white Christian nationalism, the end of times, and this being the Crusades and a holy war?
Well, I know with the end of times, it's like the second coming of Christ.
But if you can't connect those three things, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but remember, this is being Trump and his administration have been setting this up as a holy war, and this is like the Crusades. The white Christian nationalists want a Crusades. They want the Christians versus the Muslims again. And now Iran is not a Muslim country. They're not even Arabic, but that doesn't matter. Israel they're trying to bring a war in the Middle East to bring around the end times, which is the part that you'll know about. The bringing in of a new era, the age of Aquarius, and they wanted to have the revelations at the end of time so that the rapture can happen and the second coming of Christ and yada yada yada. It's the whole 9 yards. The white Christian nationalists are one of the three fundamental groups that are supporting Trump. And I literally had a friend who's going to be a former friend here, I've been trying to sort of figure out his political leanings here. He's been supporting Trump. He just posted up a meme where they showed the Crusades and Crusaders going in there, and he's been supporting this war in Iran. And it's like, the United States went to the Pope to basically say, as I look at this one, hey, we need you on board with this. This whole Crusades thing to start the second coming of Christ, 6 of Cups. This is in your Bible. You should be on board with us. In the past, the 7 of Wands, there have been battles fought. We've won the Crusades before, and now we need the King of Pentacles. We need the Pope, one of the most powerful, influential people who would be calling for a crusade to get on board with our program to get this crusade, and we're all going to make a bunch of money in the process. And then, the outcome, this is, Israel's on board, the U.S. is on board. If we can get the Pope on board with this, then we are going to form a coalition that's going to come in here, and we all benefit. We make money, you get your second coming of Christ. We make Catholicism or Christianity the preeminent religion in the world, and we all rule in a holy trinity of wealth and religion and men telling women what to do and how to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
White people telling women what to do under the guise of Christianity, and we get a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Wealth, power, and religion all rolled into one.
What more could you possibly want?
As two white guys,
Yeah.
raised as Catholics.
God.
Oh, it's
I certainly can see how you got to your conclusion on that, your interpretation on that.
Yeah, I look at those cards, it's like, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. Maybe he'll connect. No, he's not going to get it.
No.
Without the background. That's what I'm seeing with that spread. Holy smoke. And, and Pope Leo, for what it's worth, he actually apparently, paid attention during church, paid attention to what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Stop worshiping false idols. How about being nice to each other for a change? That's what Jesus' teachings are all about. Not, crush the enemy under your boots type of thing.
That's the thing that you said that kind of struck me. It was like they want the rapture, the second coming of Christ. If we were like at home, right, and you and I were misbehaving, right?
Yeah.
The last thing you want is a dad or mom coming stomping down the stairs, the rapture arriving, because the person that's misbehaving is going to get raptured.
Everybody's going to get raptured.
And, right now, I hate to say it, but the folks that are rooting on this type of behavior are not on the right side of the teachings of the church.
And the teachings of Christ. They are against Christ's teachings. You can almost say they're anti-teachings of Christ.
Yes.
Anti-Christ-like teachings.
Because Christ was all about making money.
Oh, clearly, yes. He encouraged the money changers to hang around the temples.
Especially on Sundays.
And never chased them away, ever. Never said a bad word about them, ever.
Go ahead and be cruel to people, especially people who are down on their luck or have ailments and stuff like that, right?
Assault the stranger. Don't wash his feet. Don't clothe him. Don't feed him. Don't give him warmth and shelter for the night.
Matter of fact, strike the cheek, and if he turns it, strike the other side too.
Exactly. Teach that meek person a lesson. They'll never inherit the earth.
That's right.
And let's not even begin about the cheesemakers.
Yes. Yeah, so I think you got to be really careful if you're looking for the rapture, because you better have your ducks in a row.
How's the Pope reacting to this? To this, the Pope's looking at it's like, yeah, I'm in charge here. The money that the Catholic Church makes isn't going to your war efforts. This is, he's sitting there. It's like I really suspect he's a very practical man, and he knows his values, and he knows what the values are. Trump and his ilk do not represent the working man. They represent the elites. While he would love the second coming of Christ, I think he's not naive. He's not stupid. He could take the offer. I don't think he will. It's just like, that's not who this guy is. There could be some compromise that was done in the background to assuage Trump and his envoys. But it can also be that there might be some backroom policy making going on here. I'm not saying he's going to capitulate to Trump, but there are some negotiations coming around, and it may not be between the United States and let's throw one card on that. It may not be between the United States and the Catholic Church. It might be with other world leaders on this. There's a big financial component, and it's also maybe he went back to talk with his closest advisors as they weigh the situation here. Is this something we want to get involved in? What are the pros and cons? What will we sow? If we reap this, what are we going to sow? Mm-hmm. So I don't think he probably is like, out of hand. He wants to say no, but he's probably also smart enough to realize, okay, what's the implications of this? How do we navigate the United States trying to strong arm us like a mob boss?
And that's what they're doing. All right, so what's next? What do we need to know about next actions here? Okay, you got the Seven of Cups. This is about illusions, delusions. Don't believe
or integrity.
Don't believe everything that's being floated in front of you. There's a lot of illusion out there.
This is also, remember, the positive reading is integrity and having high integrity.
Yeah, how do you like the clarifier? Death. This is coming to an end. Queen of Wands. There's going to be a lot of actions that are going to be happening. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of actions happening. Oh boy. And a new action underneath it all. Oh Lord. My gut feeling is not good on this. Because I feel like what I'm looking at is what's going to be happening potentially in 2 weeks.
Possibly. I just look at them trying to put an end to this thing, and there's a lot of fire energy. Yeah, I mean, it could be to the detriment of the Pope, but it could also just be, no, there is no way that I am backing down from this. None whatsoever. So it's going to come to a head.
Yeah.
This isn't something that's going to quietly go away.
Well, if Susan Lin is right,
yeah,
these are cards that would suggest that the person who's creating a bunch of false narratives is coming to his end.
Yeah.
And once that happens, a lot of actions are going to be happening, and we're going to head in a new direction.
I haven't listened to one of her podcasts in a while, but comments are coming up there that Susan Lin was saying what the April 20 something or another she was predicting, or that last week in April is she's, I think, what's at the end of the Trump presidency or the great undo. I don't know what the exact thing is. Again, I haven't been watching her. I haven't been watching anybody's videos, to be really honest. I've been listening to a lot of news. So like when I'm true confession here, most of the stuff I listen to is when I'm driving to work or driving home from work, because you got to drive, so I've got time to listen. And a lot of the times when I'm driving, I've been listening to like the Daily Beast podcast with Michael Wolff, and I forget the woman who hosts its name. I hear a lot of that stuff, a lot of Heather Cock Richardson. So it's kind of like listening to a lot of news or people talking about the news. I haven't been listening to Libby or Marianne or Dr. Lena. I will catch Dr. Lena occasionally just because she doesn't post very often. So I do want to hear what she's got to say. Susan Lin, and I love and Dave Johnson. I love all their stuff. It's just I've been listening to other things in the occasional card video when I can't take it anymore.
The commute's long enough.
Yeah. Because then and part of it really is I don't want to get biased by what the other readers are saying. Mm-hmm. When I wasn't reading, I used to listen to them all the time because you couldn't get enough. And I think a lot of the viewers that are even watching this, they know what I'm talking about. It's like, you're going to listen to this one. You're probably listen to my podcast. You're going to go catch Libby. Libby throws out a couple videos every day. Dr. Lena's a couple, 3 times a week. Marianne's a couple, 3 times a week. Susan Lin does a live. Marina does a live. Lots of lives. There's Cash Peters puts out something typically weekly. There's Rosie's Insights. There's no lack of material to watch. And Gary and I will even say Sterling every Sunday, Linda G, when she puts stuff out. Whenever we hear something and we reference something, we'll try and reference where we heard it from. Just in case you think we're taking credit. It's like, no, we can't take credit for this one. Linda G said this, Sterling said that type of thing. And then we'll read on it. And it's like, do we agree, disagree?
Yeah. Are we seeing the same type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times, like Dave said, you don't really want to watch what someone else did because you don't want to influence your interpretation.
Right. The last thing you want to be is, well, Linda G, Sterling, Libby, and Dr. Lena all said this is going to happen. Well, I don't think this is going to happen. They're all crazy. That's not like, that's not the super team I want to be up against in Olympic basketball.
You're in alignment with them, but
yeah.
Hey, so I want to give a couple of shout outs to the same person. Patricia, also known as Ladyfish99, who made 2 kind contributions. One has a picture of Nico looking out from under a blanket. And, hey, nice. And the other is a picture of a dove.
Yeah, the Nico looking under blanket's the pop-up live I did the other day.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Patricia.
Somebody had thrown in the comments on that one too. It's like you shouldn't come on and do readings when you're anxious. It's like I came on and did readings because I was anxious.
Yep.
And it's just like, you know what? If I'm feeling anxious, probably a lot of other people were, and I really do wonder how close we were to Trump launching missiles. of the radioactive variety, because Gary can tell you that I don't go around fretting about stuff like that. But for me to be that anxious for that long, and who could predict what Trump is going to do? If you gave him those codes.
Well, it could have been Israel too, right?
Sure.
They're nuclear. And there was some speculation that Israel might have told Trump, hey, we're going to go nuclear. We're going to go nuclear if you don't join us on the conventional front. There was some speculation that is a conversation that could have happened.
Sure.
I'm not saying it did happen. I'm not saying it didn't. It's just speculation on that.
Well, Netanyahu seems to be able to get Trump to do what he wants, so it probably was even trying to tell Trump that he should launch a nuke in there. Yeah. I swear to God, the anxiety level for me was off the charts. And when I read on it, it calmed me down because nothing was indicating that the worst was going to happen. But again, I don't live my life in fear of what this nut job is going to do. But that time, that day, everything was lining up for bad things to happen. Now, Heather Cock Richardson did point one thing out, is that if this was truly going to be an event, a planned event, J.D. Vance would not have been in Hungary. He would have been in a bunker in the United States somewhere. But again, with Trump, whoever said he planned something in advance?
Well, I think more importantly is, where is Marco Rubio hunkered down? Is he in the bunker, or is he in the box? Is he in the box, like
with ill-fitting shoes,
as Hitchcock has observed? The ambiguity put on too much weight.
So. Yeah, I was going to say, I knew the ambiguity was going to work its way into that statement again for Donald, Gary, and myself.
Yes, and all the other Python fans out there. Hey, so thank you so much for watching, Dave, and I truly appreciate it. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. We were actually up subscribers for a while, and now we're starting to give them back again.
It's been a wild ride. As far as trying to,
Marina's finding. We're losing him, and Marina's finding him. she's going to pass this channel soon.
Kim Carney from God, now we're drawing a blank on her channel, Intuitive View. Yes. She had backed off a lot of YouTube videos, and like her spirits guides were telling her, it's like, when you're trying to fight for subscribers, that's not putting you in the best of spiritual mindsets and such. It doesn't make your readings any better or worse if you got more subscribers. And I try to keep that in mind as I try to put out content, and then get depressed from it. It's like, I lost subscribers, but I've been consistent putting stuff out. Yeah. Like, don't worry about it. Just keep doing the readings. Things will happen.
Honestly, the number of subscribers doesn't matter as much as how many people actually watch the videos.
Watch the videos, exactly.
So, anyways, thank you so much for watching, David. I truly appreciate it. And we will catch you soon.
Yeah, take care.